Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Danger Planet. My name is Brandon. This is Doug.
Hello.
And today we're talking about Star Wars Shatterpoint and the Plans and Preparations Squad Pack.
Preparation H.
Yeah, Doug, make a Mary Ellen noise.
Okay.
Nice. Everybody, everywhere. Star Wars Shatterpoint
Don't be afraid. Don't have no fear.
is almost here. Well, Star Wars Shatterpoint is here already, but one of the boxes that's not here yet, but will be soon, at least at time of recording, is the Plan and Preparation Squad Pack. This features a brand new primary character, Luminara Unduli, Jedi Master. She is an 8.
No. Jedi Master Luminara Unduli.
Okay, look, Douglas, we will grant you the rank of Master, but we will not give you a seat on this council.
Well, I might just go kill some younglings about that then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Look, man, I'm just going to say, I think Anakin did nothing wrong.
This is a whole nother we have a political we're gonna have a couple political episodes in the Star Wars universe where we argue.
Yeah.
This is not that. If you guys are more excited and want to see more of those sooner, let us know, because those will happen.
Yeah, that's
but today
legitimately
we're here to,
that's the thing. I have I have some very spicy takes on that, but I have fewer spicy takes on Jedi Master Luminara Unduli, who we will talk about now. Jedi Master Luminara Unduli is an 8 squad point character who has 3 force points. She has 2 activated abilities: Sprint, which we've seen a little bit before, which is just a force to a dash, and then Full Recovery, which is an interesting new ability. For 2 force points, you get to choose an allied unit within range 3. The chosen unit removes all damage and conditions from itself. Wild.
Very good.
Reactively, we have Precise Strike for 1 force. After this unit makes a combat action, it may use this ability to choose an allied Galactic Republic supporting unit within 3 of this character. And if the chosen unit's order card is in the order deck, they can dash. If the chosen unit's order card is not in the order deck, 1 character in the unit may make a 5 dice attack, melee or range, doesn't matter. Which is really, really interesting for a bunch of reasons. But oh boy, her identity ability. Jeez. So, Flow of the Force. Master Luminara's, Master Unduli's identity ability. Once per turn, when an enemy unit becomes wounded, after the effect is resolved, 1 allied character can dash. When an enemy character wounds an allied unit, after the effect is resolved, a character in another allied unit may heal 3, and you may look at the top card of your order deck before revealing an order card or choosing to activate a unit from reserve.
At any time.
Those
are all different sentences.
It is not at any time. That's really, really important.
Sorry, yeah.
You don't get to know what is happening until right before you've revealed an order card or choosing to activate a unit from reserve. So you don't get to look at it at any time, so you can't pre-plan. Unless they
my point is that you can look at it before revealing.
You can, but
you get a little bit.
But very importantly, once you've chosen to reveal, you can't look at the next one. So you can't use that to factor in sort of what you're going to do on your current turn, which is sort of a big deal. And then lastly, she has 9 stamina, which is we're like in Asajj Ventress, lower end. It says Grand Inquisitor level HP with 3 durability. So, oh man, Luminara Unduli, what a lady.
Got a good kit.
Yeah.
Full recovery is insane.
Yeah.
Full recovery is nuts.
She's just so aggressively healing. She's the most supportive character so far, outside of maybe Asajj Ventress, who probably fills sort of a similar role.
So we've seen another support character in mini Obi-Wan, right? The Obi-Wan that comes with the Darth Vader box, right?
Like, yeah, it's a secondary.
In my mind, this is the first example on the light side of like a really hardcore primary unit that's a support character. You have a really hardcore like secondary in that mini Obi-Wan, and these are the 2 probably that are my favorite support characters right now if I was playing light side, like a light side list, basically.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The one thing I'll mention that immediately stands out to me about this card is her sprint ability is not the most powerful reposition, right? Like if I'm gonna say something not great about it, it's like that's kind of a not great pay a force, get a reposition ability. Obviously, there's way better out there,
That's
but
right. That's the big deal. I think most of the time when we're talking, that's the thing that you are the most disappointed about on characters when they can't change levels, which is very valid. I think that's a really important thing to have, and she just flat out doesn't.
well, yeah, and so I mean, force recovery is going to be able to shoot stuff at any verticality, right? It doesn't matter as long as you're within 3. But the thing that strikes me about this character is that you're going to have to be a little bit proactive about where you want her on the battlefield, so that when you need her to start healing, she is at the right spot. This is not a scenario where she'll be able to pivot on a dime and cover half a map in terms of space and then start proccing her heal. I think you're going to have the most success with this character when you set them up at the correct positioning in the map.
Yeah.
And then so when things start happening, you can just start using full recovery without having to spend a turn or two getting her to where she needs to be. I think that's the best use of this character, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And looking at her stance cards, she's definitely got some stuff going on. She's melee only, just like most of the other Jedi. She's got 6 defense all around, except for one of her forms has 5 unranged. She's on her attack, she's always getting a crit at 1 expertise, a couple more in her more aggressive forms if you get towards the higher end. But it's very clear that Form 3 Ceresu is her like sort of defensive build. She has one less attack.
Look at the specialty.
But yeah, dude, her focus defense track is nuts.
What?
I think it has the most gold on any card so far.
Look at it. The 4+ track. They ran out of space. They don't have any more space.
There's no more space. Her four defense, 4 defensive expertise on Form 3 Ceresu is 3 blocks. One of your opponent's crits becomes a normal hit, and 1 hit becomes a miss. I don't know why they didn't just save themselves space and make 1 crit become a miss. That could have just helped out here, but they didn't do that. And then like she has the crit becomes a hit becomes a miss on 2 expertise, which is pretty good, as well as 2 other blocks, and then like 1 and a crit becomes a hit. So like her 1 defense is like block a crit basically. So like she's got some defensive tack in Form 3 for sure. But like her abilities also are pretty good. She's got a lot of healing in that tree. She's got a little bit of movement. But Form 2 Makashi is obviously her way more aggressive. And she can even though she's sort of a defensive character, when push
8 track someone.
When push comes to shove, yeah, she can just do 8 damage, right?
Yeah, and she's like a full track
with with 2 shoves and a reposition, and that's only at 5 hits. If you absolutely need to, and if you want to do a little bit less damage, you can get an extra shove and a jump in there, which is a lot of mobility. Being able to reposition, shove, jump, shove is an insane amount of distance and pushing. If she's right up next to somebody and does some stuff. Because like shove,
I feel like
the reposition shove mechanic is super strong, because you can reposition, so you advance behind them, shove them toward your crew, shove them again towards your crew, shove them again towards your crew, and then even though you ran behind them with an advance, you're still on the objective, and they're standing right next to Anakin and are about to get cut in half. Pretty strong.
Yeah, I think for me, I will probably play her most of the time in Form 3, just like because it keeps her alive, heals her, and probably gives her the best chance to like do what she wants to do, which is use her 2 force ability and just full heal.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, flow of the force is also really strong. There's so many things. Her, she's the Jedi healer. She has she has some maneuverability that comes through combat that's not really exists on her card on the front half, but I think that you're going to be hard pressed to see lists not at least trying her. I think she's going to be a really strong option.
Barriss Offee.
Oh man, Barriss Offee. You mean Luminara Unduli's squad's 4-point secondary unit? Barriss Offee? That Barriss Offee, Jedi Padawan?
Yes, sir.
Wild. So Barriss Offee is a 4-point secondary unit. She has 2 activated abilities: Force Push and Force Speed. Force Push we've already seen on her best pal, Asajj Ventress. For 2 force, she can choose a character within 3 and then push the chosen character 3 away. For speed, for 1, she gets an advance, which is wild. Remember, if she's in combat, that's going to be a dash, not an advance instead. And then she has a reactive ability that we've already seen somewhere, also potentially on the Asajj Ventress, except this time it's a Galactic Republic. So when another allied Galactic Republic character targets an enemy character that is engaged with one or more characters in this unit with an attack, you can use this ability. And one character in this unit, which is obviously Barriss Offee, that is engaged with the target character can reposition. If it does, it gains a hunger token. And then lastly, she has an innate ability called Faithful Padawan. While an enemy character is engaged with a character in this unit and a character in another allied Jedi primary unit, characters in this unit and characters in that unit get +2 dice to melee attacks targeting the enemy character. And after this unit makes a recover action, each other allied unit within 3 may remove a damage or condition from itself.
That's so
which
good.
is real good, because the normally recover, you get to heal one thing within range 2, which is 3 inches, but at range 3, which is 6 inches, every unit within 6 inches of her gets to remove a damage or a condition from herself, which is just an insanely strong AoE heal bubble for conditions.
Also, just insanely strong damage proccing all over the place. You're adding 2 damage dice both to her attacks and whatever the primary beat stick that's like beating the crap out of the other thing. Like, as long as you have her with a primary that's like can do damage, you could do an immense amount of damage.
I mean, realistically, she's adding a bunch of dice to Obi-Wan Unduli or Anakin, right? Those are the 3 that she's adding the dice to for sure, and herself, of course. But her innate ability is very strong. She's got a lot of movement. She's got a lot of force push, which is super strong for cap objectives and just positioning on the battlefield. Her stance card's not great, but it's not bad, really. I mean, she's got 6 dice on the offense, and then 5 and 4.
She's weak to shooting.
She's pretty weak to shooting, but she's got a single expertise. She's got a crit, which is nice, and then up the path she gets hit for 2 hits and a crit for 2. But she starts off with reposition or 2 damage or shove and a damage, which is really strong. Moving into shove and a damage, and then if you want, shove and a damage, and then shove and 2 damage, and then force shove. Right? So like, if you need to,
I think the track that you're gonna care most of, I think the thing you want to do most with her that she's best at is just getting a lot of shoves out of her track and just pushing people off of objectives.
So far, the theme of this squad box is you're gonna have your Jedi, and they're just gonna be spamming force shove left and right, force push there, force push here. You get a force push, you get a force push. This box is force push Oprah all over the place.
That seems great, though. I would go to a force push Oprah show. That seems awesome.
I would love, and she doesn't even do the bees thing. Wild.
But she might.
She might do the bees thing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Barriss Offee. Actually, if you cut out some of the letters, spells bee.
And she kind of looks like a bee.
She does kind of look like a bee.
Coloring.
Because she's sort of orange. And also her defensive track includes repositions, which is neat. That's not a thing we see very frequently. If you get two defensive expertise, she can just reposition after the attack, which is pretty strong,
I think this character is really good. The thing that I'm most excited about is Faithful Padawan. Like, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Like, having access to force push is powerful. Having access to a pre-proc of it is really good.
Yeah.
And her track, like, the thing that's nice is that she doesn't need to do damage to be effective. If she can get like a 2 or a 3 track on a model, she's probably pushing that model out of objective contention.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And I think that that's very, very easy. The thing I would say that I'm the most looking forward to on her is getting to paint that cool like scarf that she's wearing. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm sure, actually, well, I imagine that Goonhammer article is probably going to help, which we'll link below. But like, I don't know, maybe we sponge it, maybe we do something crazy.
I'm going to paint mine like a bumblebee.
Ooh, you could. That'd be fine. Because Barriss Offee. We've done it. We've solved the meta. And then, I think there's just one more unit in this squad box, Doug.
Republic Clone Commandos.
Oh my gosh, that's the clones we've all been waiting for. Okay.
These guys look sweet.
They do look sweet. That is for sure. Very cool models. But this is a 4-point supporting unit. It comes with 2 dudes, not 1 dude. 2 dudes.
2 dudes, 1 cup.
One can only hope.
2 clones,
As
1 cup.
long as it's not 1 clone, 1 cup, I'm in. Oh no, I'm gonna have to cut that. That's too much. So, they have defensive maneuver, which we have seen before. For 1 force point, they can dash, and if they dash, they get a hunker token. Very strong. Each character in this unit may dash. Excellent use of a single force point. They have a reactive ability, which we've also seen before, coordinated fire. They have coordinated fire damage. So when a character in another Allied Galactic Republic unit makes an attack as part of a combat action before dice are rolled,
Yeah, they just spit out
they
damage.
just do a damage. Wild stuff. Then they have 3 innate abilities. They have ascension cables, which is something that we haven't seen before.
Great.
Characters
So
in the unit
fucking
have
good.
scale.
So fucking good.
Yeah, what a guy. Scale is neat. Very, very cool ability. And then they also have Brothers in Arms, which we've seen before. So while this unit has 1 or more hunker tokens, characters in this unit have Steadfast, so they'll ignore the first push effect of each shove that targets them each turn. And then Commando Armor, which just straight up gives them protection, which is going to be really important. Because they have 6 health. They have 6 stamina and 2 durability. 2 durability, obviously, because they're a support unit.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I think they're good. I think you just have to be aware of the fact that they have 6 stamina, right? Like you just can't be a muppet about using these guys.
Yeah.
You want to use these guys for the fact that they have ascension cables.
Cool.
Like that's going to get you good value.
Yeah.
And be able to
coordinated fire damage. That's also going to be super important.
Like you should be in a position with these guys where you're using their ascension cables to really, really effectively get them onto higher level objectives and camp them safely with like a hunker token behind cover, and then keep proccing coordinated fire where you're just like splashing damage. Like that's a good day at the office for the Republic clone commandos. Basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even though they're pretty fragile, like looking at their damage track, right? They have a range 5 gun. They're commandos. They have a range 5 gun, or they're clone troopers. They have a range 5 gun. That's like super important.
And if you can keep them alive, like even at 1 or 2, then they actually are really good with Luminara Unduli, because if they're like almost dead and then she comes over and she's like, "Pachow, you're full healed, brother," or clone person, like it'd be like, that's good.
Yeah,
like it's just, you have to be aware of the fact that they can get 1 shot by like the big damage dealers in the game, effectively.
And they are pretty offensive too. They have a single expertise. They get a crit on their range weapon, which is very strong. They start out with 2 damage, then they go into pinned, and then 2 damage, or damage in a strain, and 2 damage, and 2 damage, right? So for a range 5 gun unit that can easily put out like 4, 6, 8, even 10 damage, 9 damage, and a strained, or no, 6, 7 damage and a strained. Really, really, really strong. They have vibro blades, which aren't bad too, but you should not have them in melee combat. Their defensive expertise is like all right. 1 block at 1, 2 block.
You want to use these guys for their mobility. You want to get them up into like kind of cheeky to reach positions that other parts of your like presumably clone army or like clone units wouldn't be able to get to, and then just get value from chaining coordinated fire over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. And they have a fast action which will give them reposition, which they can scale with, which auto gives them a hunker token.
Yeah.
They get hunky with it pretty quick and pretty easy.
Yeah, and so it is worth noting that these guys are a 6 drop unit, a 6 health unit, right? But they, because of their damage tree with pinned being the second step, they're going to scale better with or sort of collab better with the coordinated fire with the 212 then, or they're going to sort of corroborate better with the 212 because it leads to extra damage output, which little worrying because the 212 also have 6 health. Is that correct, or do they have 7?
The 212 have 7 health.
7 health, yeah.
And the 501st also have 7 health.
Gotcha. Yeah. clone troopers in general, not a whole lot of health. The protection I think helps quite a bit on these guys, but
I would gladly trade a point of stamina for protection. Like I think that the Republic clone commandos are good. Like
yeah, I think they're a pretty solid unit, and like there's so much clone synergy and galactic synergy. They have all of those things. They're clone commandos. What's not to love, guys? You know. Any final thoughts on the Luminara Unduli plans and preparations squad box, Douglas?
I think the biggest thing that it strikes me as is that this is the first time we're getting a true primary support character, light side, with like a good amount of healing ability and flexibility. I'm really, really excited to try out the Republic Clone Commandos. Those guys seem awesome. And I guess I think the biggest thing with Barriss Offee is the synergy that she gives to allied Jedis that she's like fighting with that are primaries, and then her like push you off a thing, keep a point. I think those are the biggest things to me.
Yeah, I have two things. Firstly, I think I love the fact that as we're expanding out with this game, we're still in the very early days. As of recording, there are 12 total or 13 total models released for this game. Or units or whatever. But I think that we're I think that the position we're in, where we're seeing a lot of finesse pieces come out and being able to finesse in different ways as part of the like expansion creep, and not just this is a new dude, he does more damage than this other dude, don't take that guy anymore. Just bodes really well for the system overall. Plus, I think that the clone commandos are the first dudes with vibro blades, and that's lit. Vibro blades for the win. I don't know that that's true, but
Vibro blades are lit, bro.
Vibro blades are lit, fam. You gotta blade all the vibros.
If we do it Lord of the Rings style, it's like, Brendan, the vibro blades, they're lit, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, somebody make a meme of that in the comments. If you do, we'll, I don't know, fly you to France first class for free or something.
With Brandon's money,
whoa. Okay, maybe coach. And also you have to already live in France, and also we're not going to fly you, and there are a few other caveats as well, and also we'll charge you. That's all I got. Yeah, we've already talked about how cool some of these models are, and how interesting, like, the Mirialan skin sort of patterns are going to be, I think, a challenge for a lot of folks, as well as Barriss Offee's scarf or headscarf. So definitely to check out the Goonhammer article on painting and building these guys. That's probably going to help out a lot. I would also check out them for tactics articles, our videos, our stuff. You gotta check them out. They're one of the best places for mini wargaming on the internet for sure. Absolutely check out our Discord, which will be linked below, and all that good stuff. Keep an eye on what we're doing, whether we're making ridiculous Lord of the Rings memes about how lit these vibro blades are, or just playing some games of Shatterpoint or Malifaux or any of the other stuff that we have a good time doing. But keep an eye on the planet. I've been Brandon. This has been Doug.